when I heard that they needed a drummer, I immediately went and bought Bleach, which I'd heard before and I liked, but I didn't have the whole record. I just like taped a couple songs off of it, you know. So I went and I just learned the record from front to back. I mean, honestly, I knew I was capable of doing it. I think it was just more a matter of chemistry, you know, just to see if we really played well together. And the first time we set up and jammed, we just blazed through songs, you know. And I sang backup vocals too, which I don't think anyone had done yet. And Kurt was into that. And you know, when it's a three-piece, I'd been in a three-piece before, a couple bands before that when I was a teenager. And there's something about being in a three-piece. It's different than being in a four-piece or a five-piece. It's a really powerful thing because it's a band stripped down to pretty much its basic elements. And Chris and I were a badass rhythm section, you know? And Kurt was an amazing songwriter, had a great voice. So when we set up in a room, like a 10 by 10 room, it just sounded like Nirvana. It was it. It was super simple. We blazed through those songs, and I don't know if I really felt like, God, I hope I got the job. I just felt like, well, that sounded pretty good, you know?
You remember him showing up, Chris?
Yeah, I remember he showed up at the airport with a drum set. He brought a whole drum set on the plane, so we went to baggage claim, oversized luggage, and there's a drum set, and we loaded it up. And like the next day, we went to rehearsal and we started to play every day after that. And
is it harder to join a band or is it harder to leave a band? You know, you guys were together, and Dave walks in and he's joining you guys, but he's also leaving another band. What was harder for you and Chris?
Well, I remember calling you on the phone, and I think it was Pete. Answered the phone, and I'm like, "Is Dave there?" And he's like, "Yeah," like he knew. Yeah.
Well, it was tough because coming from Scream, those were guys that I'd been in a band with for years and years, and we had struggled and played in clubs and starved and, you know, done the whole punk rock thing but we were stuck and the band was just sort of shut down.
I remember calling you. It was because Skeeter, the bass player, quit in L.A., so you're stuck in North Hollywood, and you told me that the landlord took the front door off the house because the rent was
he wanted to evict us, so he just took the front door off the house. He took the front door off
the house. So like Dave had to get out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, to me, and honestly, it was my mother that gave me this advice where I said, God, Mom, I don't know what to do. I mean, I don't want to leave Pete and Franz. They're like family, but I'm getting asked to join this band up in Seattle, and I've got nothing. What do I do? And she's like, sometimes you just got to do what's best for yourself, you know?
So you decided to go to school. To community college.
Yeah. No. Trade school, and I started doing underwater welding.
There's a lot of money in underwater welding.